The coming of the railway to Kafanchan attracted a lot of people who came as laborers and traders with different initiative and vision. The railway brought many people from different socio-cultural backgrounds, thereby creating a spirit of togetherness. This in turn produced organizations and movements whose identity was pan-Nigerian. The Igbos, Yorubas, and other tribes brought their goods from their states to sell and bought other products such as yams and rice from the north. This, in turn, exposed them to other cultures, encouraged intertribal marriages, and fostered unity amongst Nigerians. Did you know that the post office and telegram system, healthcare services, European firms, trading depots, just to name a few, came to be in all thanks to the revolutionary railway?
The lines that cut across here, you have the Eastern Line. The Eastern Line stretches from Port Harcourt, cuts across through to Maiduguri. The same line also that flows can also run through to Kano, and so it's a multiple line we maintain. Actually, our district is a strategic district, more of a nodal district. It interconnects other locations and lines that operate outside our areas. So from here, train can move from here up to Bauchi, beyond. Of course, what it suggests is from our boundary station, Igumale, we take trains, pass them and cross. If it is the one going to Bauchi, we move as far as, or well, as close by as Kuru, which is our boundary station with Northeastern. And if we are to pass on train outside that line, we also run train to our boundary line, Kankomi, allowing the train to continue to another district. So in the same way, we also receive into our districts. And of course, we have an offshoot. Rather than going to Bauchi through our boundary line at Kuru, the train can also detour and have a terminus at Jos.
With so much enthusiasm, we set out on a journey from Kafanchan to the ancient city of Kano, the commercial nerve center of the north. Located in the Sahel, south of the Sahara, Kano is the second largest city in Nigeria, the most populous according to Kano State Bureau of Statistics. Upon our visit to this commercial city, the railway station was closed on all occasions, except for some policemen guarding the building. No one within the area could give us an exact schedule of the train services, and no staff was available to answer our questions. But then, we went behind the station building to check out its tracks. But as we approached, we were advised to retrace our steps due to how unsafe the terrain is. Despite the skeletal services being run by the railway, the tracks looked unkempt with refuse littered all over, and the area is a cesspool for pickpockets and drug addicts. But we found our way around. The narrow gauge train travels only to Lagos and Nguru from Kano.
Sakamakon mu'amalar da yake da yanzu ba a yin ta. Tunda already na tunanin bai fi sati da komawa zuwa Lagos da Kano ba, bai fi sati ba. Dan a jiya daga ran ya tashi zuwa Lagos. Dan na tunanin an fi shekara 2 ma na tunanin tun wajen COVID-19 nan da suka dakatar da bai sake wani aiki ba. Sai wannan zuwa bi kenan tsakanin Lagos zuwa Kano. Daga wannan dai babu wani dai abun nan dai sai dai na zuwa Guru daga Kano zuwa Guru. Shine da yake aiki ina ta koyaushe. To gaskiya dai wannan lokaci babu, amma kamar jiya kin ga ISO ma ya zo kuma ya koma jiya. Sai kuma akwai kai na Guru da ya bi shi zuwa Calawa. Amma dai gaskiya ba shi da wani time na wucewa, amma a sati dai na wucewa kamar sau 2. Zai tashi Monday ko kuma zai tashi Talata, zai dawo kamar Lahadi ko kuma Asabar daga Lagos. Yana tashi nan kuma Monday in an samu wani matsala ya tashi Talata.
Due to urbanization, lots of traders sell really close to the tracks, and the road crossing over the tracks is one of the busiest in Kano. Traders around the area have tasked themselves with the burden of stopping vehicular movement when the train is approaching.
Ko jiya ma ya fita. Bacin shekarun jiya ya dawo, jiya kuma ya fita a jan. Kuma so da dama wani lokacin ma idan ya zo ko ba mutanen da ke kula da wurin, yana kasancewa mu da muke zaune a wurin, na mu dan tashi mu dan tattare mai motoci haka wanda zai zo ya shige wuce. Gaskiya dai game da jirgin kasan nan, hanyar nan, abin da ake cewa ba ma ni kadai ba, akwai wasu da dama wanda za ka suna maganganun cewa kamar hanya ta yi cikin gari da yawa. Sakamakon da can lokacin da yake nan ba wa'annan ginunnukan da kuma sauran abubuwa da yawa, kawai sai da iya fili a wajen. To amma ƙari da lokaci ya riga ya canza, kuma lokaci ya ƙara zuwa, an samu ci gaba, ginunnuka da abubuwa, kamfanoni ko ina an samu. To shi yasa kuma abin ya shigo gari. Dan wani lokacin idan jirgi ya taho daga nesa in aka zuwa, gaskiya akwai lokacin da yawa wa'anda za ka ga ma'aikatan da ke wurin ba sa amma in yi hon sakamakon mu da muke a wurin hannu za ga mun tashi mun tattare motoci ya zo ya wuce.
Las je da ya yi gyaman ba lodi. Ina so a gyara titunan sosai a ci gaba da harkar irin ta da. A jirgin kasa ina ban sha'awa sosai. Dan kuwa gaskiya lodin zai kawo da mutane ana sha'awarsa, kuma ya ɗauko taragun nan a kallace shi ma abin sha'awa ne.
Kaman shekaran jiya ranar Lahadi ya wuce ta nan, a gabana ya wuce ya ɗebi fasinja ya koma. Wani lokacin yakan wuce karfe 7:30 na safe, wani lokacin kuma yakan wuce bayan mun tashi kamar misalin karfe 1 na dare sai wuce. Yanda na ji jirgin da ya gaskiya ba wani abin tsoro a cikinsa, don yana da daɗi fiye da mota. Za ka yi tafiya ne ba tare da cikin tashin hankali ba, kuma ba wani damuwa ko wani hayaniya a cikin jirgi. Abin da na fuskanta ya fi mota daɗi gaskiya. A kuɗin jirgi gaskiya yana da sauƙi sosai fiye da na mota. Ya fi mota sauƙi nesa ba kusa ba, don da ka biya mota yanzu zuwa Lagos, gwara ka biya jirgi ka samu ragowar kuɗi kuma ka je cikin kwanciyar hankali. Abin da mu muke bukata ta yi gaskiya a game da shi hanyar jirgin railway din, ya kamata a ce an gyara shi, kuma ya zama duk wani abin da zai iya kawo mai hadari a gefensa ya kamata a ce gwamnati ta kawo da shi.
Abin da za a bai gwamnati shawarwarin da ba zai fice 1 zuwa 2 ba. Aiki dai ana cewa na rail ana yi, ana nan ana yi. Mu bukatar da muke akai cewar gwamnati mai da hankali akan abin, tunda jirgi kamar na talaka ne ba na abin nan bane ba. Talaka shi yake amfanuwa da shi ba wai shugabanni ba. Mu muke amfanuwa da shi. Da hakan an gyara shi, harkar talaka ta gyaru, harkar transport talaka ta gyaru. Sakamakon rashin kyan hanya na motoci haka ana samun feluwa wani wajen harkokin kaya da kuma transport din ma da gaba daya.
We recounted our steps back to the north central state of Kaduna, the center of learning and site to some of Africa's oldest civilization. We embarked on our quest to survey some tracks on the bridge and take records of old station buildings. And in an unexpected turn of events, we heard it, the sound of a locomotive passing by. Like a lion that has found its prey, we hurriedly followed it to its station, called the Kaduna Junction.
Why it's called Kaduna Junction is simply because the narrow gauge railway system actually has two main branches, which is the Eastern Railway and the Western Railway. So Kaduna Junction serves as, let's use a geographic term, a confluence that actually bridges the West and the Eastern Railway. Of course, it's a junction. It is just a place where some journeys terminate, and then we do what is called the remarshalling, so that trains could actually go back to their destination or their originating point.
As we approached, we saw a very busy and functioning station, crowded with passengers arriving from and waiting to travel to Minna.
We actually have two trains right now running. Like everybody knows, the Port Harcourt-Kano trains are not running because the federal government has actually signed a contract to revamp the Port Harcourt-Kano, Port Harcourt-Maiduguri line, owing to the fact that there's been a very high level of vandalism on those lines, so trains cannot run. But for now, we actually have trains running on the Western Corridor, which is Lagos to Kano. So we actually have Lagos to Kano passenger trains every Mondays, Kano-Lagos, but departs from Lagos every Fridays. Then we have the mixed train, we call it MTT, Mass Transit Train. As you could see earlier on, that train is actually very strategic for the agrarian community bordering Niger and Kaduna State, or parts of Niger and parts of Kaduna State. In short, for this train, prices of agricultural products have dropped drastically, and we have to give kudos to the federal government and to the management of Nigerian Railway Corporation, especially my managing director and the two district managers of this district where these trains originate from.
Due to the level of insecurity ravaging Niger State, most travelers turn to the trains to get to their destination, as it is a safer option.
Why are the security agencies not responding to various attacks? You see community being invaded. They have free day, they'll do what they want to do and leave. And then the victims or the relations of these affected victims will be left with no option than to go and source money to pay for ransom. So we now have a situation of everybody to himself, God for us all. Now, what the government should ask, if they don't know, let them ask. If they know, because what are the constraints of these security agencies? Number one, they keep telling us that it's short of personnel. So how many bandits do you have in this country, and how many security personnel do you have in this country? You understand? So how do they move? Are they spirit? So are they saying now that the bandits are over 3 million in Nigeria today? If they are not. So something is fundamentally wrong.
Safety first is our motto. If anything goes wrong on the tracks, it's going to affect thousands of people on board the train. When you're approaching a station, it's called you're approaching a facing point. You slow at 10 kilometers per hour. That's why you're asking me, that train is coming in, why is it slow? It's a regulation. So trains are like that. We work strictly on regulations. And where you don't work by those safety regulations, you get a knock on your head, a hard knock. So you go by these rules, and that's why you find very minimal accidents in the rail sector.
The refreshing and nostalgic feeling of oneness that we experienced at Kaduna Junction can only be likened to back in the day when the railway system was a thing of pride. Prior to our visit, only very few people knew this station still functioned. Due to limited coaches, it only travels to and from Minna.
There had actually been phases of these coaches actually being brought in. Either they being first class coaches, either first class sleeper or first class seater. They could be air conditioned or non-air conditioned. The latest were brought in 2014 by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. And then there were some that was brought in by the administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo. That was early 99 into 2000s. And then a larger bulk of it was bought 1996 by the administration of late General Sani Abacha. So those are the breakdown of the coaches we have. You see, coaches are actually not like cars. They are actually built to be very, very durable. They are like ships. Like the effectiveness of a coach is not determined basically by its year of production. And I must let everyone know that NRC has a very good maintenance culture for their coaches. Take it from me. Because ordinarily, somebody who bought a car in 1996 would not be maintaining that car at this point. So these coaches are built to be durable, but we actually have challenges. And the challenges we have in the country is when these coaches are being procured, there is actually a caveat whereby management tells the government in power then that, okay, we need more spare parts so that we could actually maintain these coaches better. And then that aspect is actually not there. So I'll give kudos to our management and to engineers, our engineers. Honestly, they are doing a very great job.
As you can see, we're right at Kaduna Junction, and this particular station is situated in the heart of Kaduna. I mean, in Kaduna metropolis. A lot of people do not even know that this particular place exists, and this is one of the few narrow gauge tracks that is still functioning. From this particular junction, you can actually go to different places. A lot of people who travel to Minna come to this station and, even buy goods, a lot of goods, for their markets and for their shops from Minna, and it is brought here in Kaduna State.
I'm from Niger State, so my parents are there. I'm always shuffling between Niger and Kaduna. It's stressful though. The train is always full. Then you have to struggle to get in, and then once you get in, getting a place to sit, sometimes you'd have to stand for a while until some people drop at some stations before you get a seat. But it's fun. It could be fun too as well. It's manageable. Once you get to the train station, you would have to get your ticket first, or else you won't be let into the environment. Once you get the ticket, you wait, you go to the waiting area, and then you wait for the train. Once the train is here, you're free to just go in whatever coach you feel, okay, there are seats here, empty seats and all. You go in, you sit, and wait for the train to move. Once the train starts moving, there are people in the train that come to get the tickets, and then you cut your ticket to show a sign that, okay, this person has been checked in already, and then that's it. Sometimes they cut and take it back, sometimes they just cut and give it to you. So if someone else is coming to maybe check for new persons that just came in, you could just show them and say, okay, you've been checked in, and that's it basically. Once you get to your destination, you are alive, and that's all. We had to, I remember there was one time we were there till like very late at night because they couldn't get to do the repairs in time, and we had to just, there's definitely nothing you can do since you're not a tech person. You just have to sit in, and there are people, sometimes you get stations where there are people selling stuff, so if you get hungry, you drop, you buy whatever you want to buy, and then you get back into the train, just keep praying and waiting for them to be done whatever they are doing, and then you move.
It's okay, normal. We used to enjoying it just because food stuff used to come normal for us from Niger State to Kaduna. We used to buy some things cheap. That is why we used to come to the rail station and stay, buy some food stuff, come and give some people here. You're 200, you buy enough things that you need. When you went to their office, they will ask you which station do you want to drop. If you are going to Minna, you buy Minna ticket. If it's certain power, you buy, or then when you reach, you drop. And when you hold your ticket in the train, no stress. When the people come and ask you, where's your ticket, you just give them, then we cut it off. No anything like stressing you again.
Gaskiya hanya ne ba daɗi inda muke, ni a sarkin fawa nake a Niger State Muya. Hanyar gaskiya barayi suna takura mu kowane lokaci. Shi yasa na ce bari mu bi mun dinga bin girgi ta fi mana sauki yanzu.
Since in my life I've been entering train, I experienced quite okay. Government is doing their best. You know, you can't satisfy human being. The only thing you do your best and leave the rest.
Sometimes, you know, me, sometimes I prefer the train because it's more easier and safer than the car. Some used to manage seats. You see, when we're in train, you see some will be standing and some will be sitting. So no enough space.
It's a very long history. Since when I'm small, my mother used to take me down to railway station. I do come to the railway station still when I'm young. My mother do pick me down to here, but today I pick myself with my family. That means it's been a quite long time. Train has been stopped, but now, due to the Mr. President is trying to motivate the movement of the train, and that is why I decided to follow the train today with my own family. The roads, there is a lot of challenge. There is some kind of traffic, go slow in the road like that. And insecurity issues is there, and some other things there. When you join the train, you can be able to be seeing some kind of different things in the road. Like we can see river, the train is in the top of the river, is a part of excursion experience. That is why I decided to pick my wife with my daughter for them to see. This is going to be the first time for them into the train.
As we entered the reception, we saw in bold view tickets prices, coach types and destinations clearly written on a blackboard for transparency. Tickets to Minna costs only 900 naira.
Wajen karba ticket, mutane lallai kan muna kokari karba ticket din nan don wanda bai karba ticket ban ya hau jirgi ba za a yi mai tara a ciki. Muna yawan karba ticket. Da mun kuma wani lokaci wajen ticket din nan muna samu cinkusu ba mu samu wadata abinda mutum yake son wani lokaci. Kafin ka je karban jirgi ta shiga cikin jirgi zaka samu wulakanci. Ya kamata bunkasa wurin karba ticket din da yawanci mun koma jirgin ne.
The train is so easier for us just because with your 1,000 naira you will go to Minna. But if it is car, you are going to pay something like 2,000, 2,500, and there is some kidnappers again on the road. When they kidnap you, you are going to pay a lot of money before bringing you back home. But when you follow the trains, nothing like kidnapping, you go safely and come back safely, nothing like doubting anything. But when you are in the car, you'll be doubting a bush that maybe they will block you people and collect the money that you come and sell, something like that. I won't kill you join again. But when you follow the train, nothing is going to happen to you. When you have your ticket, they ask you where's the ticket, you give them, you go safely and come back safely.
Passengers are seated in the waiting area for the scheduled train to arrive.
Right now we're hauling pipes. We are hauling pipes for the Kaduna State government because of the World Bank water project. When you came in yesterday, you saw some wagons, some flat wagons, we call it CBX wagons, being withdrawn from the siding where those pipes were unloaded for the clients to take to the site for work to continue. And then we also move containers from the APMT terminal, that's the dry port terminal at Kano. Another dry port is here just at Kaduna. We also move containers to the Apapa port where stuff will be exported.